Welcome to a special edition of Cruising Authority at cruisetalkshow.com. I took my family to a park for a picnic, and my wife and I talked about our trip to China with Viking River Cruises that we went on nearly a year ago. The journey made such an impact on us that we're still talking about it nearly a year later. I've put together many videos about our trip to China, but this is the first time I really focused on our visit to the Forbidden City. So sit back and listen in as my wife and I reminisce about the Forbidden City. Well, this is Barry with Cruising Authority at cruisetalkshow.com, and I'm here with my wife, Terry, and it's May, and we're just at a park, and just kind of reminiscing about our trip to China. It was last August that we went to China.
Almost a year ago.
Yep. It was a pretty amazing trip. When we first arrived at Tiananmen Square, I mean, it was just amazing. The crowds of people in the square was just massive. Apparently, you can get like 1 million people in that square. It was a lot of tourists, but a lot of them were from China.
Yes. Tiananmen Square was huge. My first thoughts were of when I saw it for the first time on television, and I was standing there right where I saw the news of the college students protesting at Tiananmen Square and seeing the student facing off with the tanker and the Communist Party. That was pretty amazing.
After we went through that first gate, I thought we were in the Forbidden City, but apparently we weren't, because there were several gates that you had to go through to get to the actual entrance to the Forbidden City. I was just amazed at the tourists, how many tourists were there, and the masses of people, thousands and thousands of people that were there. What did you think of the masses, the multitudes of people that were visiting the Forbidden City?
Now, when we were approaching the Forbidden City, they were actually restoring some of the color and some of the paint and stuff because of the fact that they were coming up to their 60th anniversary of communism. And I saw the big, huge picture of Mao Zedong. But there were so many people I had never in my life. I mean, I've been to amusement parks, and I've been to just places where there are thousands and thousands of people, and this does not compare.
The Forbidden City was also where they filmed The Last Emperor. In fact, The Last Emperor, that movie, was really amazing. So, did you get a chance to watch that movie?
The movie The Last Emperor was an interesting movie. I saw it a very long time ago. I never imagined that when I saw the movie that I would ever be standing where some of that movie was filmed. And the story of the very last emperor of China was pretty amazing. I would recommend seeing the movie.
I was amazed at the artwork on the Forbidden City walls, and I was also amazed at how they constructed the roof in these buildings. They're all put together kind of like a puzzle, and there was amazingly intricate artwork throughout the exterior and the interior of the Forbidden City. When we would go through inside some of the buildings, you could look up at the ceiling, and it was just spectacular. The artwork, the colorful artwork that was on the ceiling of these buildings. What did you think of all artwork and how these buildings were put together?
As I said, the place is huge. There are over 900 rooms. The one thing I can say is that the Forbidden City It was kind of a fog the day that we were there because it was our very first official long day. And wow, just walking through that was amazing. And there were so many people, and even Barry got in some pictures with some girls because they were following you everywhere and they wanted pictures with you, so there were a couple of pictures of you with all these girls standing around. But getting to see the private quarters where the emperors were and the empress, and that was pretty cool because each handmaiden and eunuchs, they all, in different wives, they all had their own rooms. So that was really cool to see.
Not only was the architecture just spectacular, and the facility was just so massive and so huge, but there's so much history. It seemed like there was courtyard after courtyard after courtyard. I mean, this palace was just massive. Another thing about this trip is we went with Viking River Cruises, and they just did an amazing job, didn't they?
Yes, they did an amazing job, and our guide Daniel was there every step of the way. If you go to a foreign country that you've never been to, it is kind of scary, and Viking River Cruises and their guides were simply amazing, and they held your hand the entire way and helped you with your luggage, to the rooms, to the airports. It was pretty cool.
Boy, visiting the Forbidden City like that was just an amazing, amazing excursion. And then that same day, right after we went to the Forbidden City, we went to visit the Summer Palace, which was equally spectacular. We walked down this long pathway that had this structure that you could walk under if it was raining or something. And again, the artwork underneath this structure was just amazing. It was just beautiful. But yeah, Viking River Cruises does an incredible job, especially our guide Daniel. We really liked our guide Daniel, and we would wear these little Vox things in our ear that allowed us to hear our guide tell us about all of the things that were going on during, wherever we were at. He would explain this and explain that, and we would use these little Vox devices. And what was really funny is I would be way off somewhere taking pictures or video or something, and I could still hear Daniel in my little Vox earpiece talking about the history of the area. So it was just an amazing trip. So if anybody is wanting to go to China, they really should highly consider going with Viking River Cruises. They're the most organized, and they just do a great job. Well, this is Barry with Cruising Authority at cruisetalkshow.com. Thanks for checking out our special video of the Forbidden City. Hope you enjoyed it. And I want to wish you smooth seas.